Not responsible for the validity or accuracy of information presented on this program. Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Sergey Shealy-Sorin. To be a part of the show, call 417-447-1777. Wellness Wednesday. Now, Dr. Sergey Shealy-Sorin.
And good afternoon. Despite rumors to contrary, I am alive, and I have been attacked by, the virus, stupid, synthetic, fake. I had a very high spike protein 4 days after hugging someone who had had the violent virus injection. I don't recommend going near them, left alone hugging them. But I'm back at the fray and open for your questions about anything because it's all related to your health. And two things that are related to your health. Well, intake. Vitamins, supplements, essential in today's polluted world, essential. And the place to get them is at Spring Valley Natural Foods, a place where I shop and shoot.
Yeah. Is that
And
better?
you shop too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got the sound in a better place.
Oh, it won't stay fixed.
Yeah, it's okay. How's that? Now it will.
And
Yep.
in addition to everything you need, they carry all of our products. Our magnesium lotion, our essential oils, everything we make, they carry, and you can get it in Spring Valley. And nature-blessed tart cherry juice concentrate. Every American should drink this because the average American is getting only 2.2 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. By adding just 2 tablespoons of nature-blessed tart cherry juice concentrate, you can get up to almost 6. Almost tolerable, but infinitely better. Available only at real grocery stores. If they don't have it, you're a fake store. Now,
Yep. So let me actually just jump in and just say for the record, I wasn't sure at one point that you were going to be back on the show, like in any recent time, and this is wonderful. It's great to have you back. The short of it, Dr. Shealy has made a miraculous recovery from a really bad place, and he can talk about his own health journey, if to the degree that you're willing, of course. But this, what has happened that brought him back, is simply nothing short of a miracle. I mean, I haven't seen anybody as close to transitioning as in any near future. So, and then almost full recovery. Here we are. How did you do it?
Well, partly we did it with Biogenics and superb care by Sergey and his wife. I was essentially adopted, and I've been treated better than most babies are treated. But I've recovered. My energy for weeks was down by 50 to 70% or more. I'm back to normal. And, I'm a high energy person ordinarily. And, of course, I have done lots of biogenics. Biogenics is the basis for, self-regulation, self-control, functioning. It's been around for, 110 years, and it's been enhanced converted to Biogenics with about 60 different exercises in biogenics.com. You need to do at least basic autogenic training twice a day for 3 months to train the brain, to detach from the nonsense that you cannot control. If I had not detached, I'd be dead, I think.
Yes.
But it's interesting. You must practice autogenic training for 3 months, twice a day, 18 minutes twice a day. It's worth it for the rest of your life, for your health, your well-being, and life in general.
Now, the whole purpose, the entire concept behind biogenics is the self-regulation and retraining of the most important aspect of who we are, the brain bucket, central nervous system. Now, what I love about this kind of work is that it's not only scientific. In other words, there's a lot of it's a came out as a PhD project back in the 70s, early 70s, but it also represents a culmination of research, and now we've had over 36,000 successful outcomes now with all sorts of people from chronic pain, mental health, anxiety, depression, other things of all sorts, and chronic disease. Uh, now, how many exercises do we have right now in Biogenics? Is over 68 now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 68, I think.
Yeah, but we're working on a couple of more, which is great. We're always building. One thing that we've done, and Dr. Shealy has had this program now going since 1970s, early 70s. When I came into the picture about 6 years ago, no, 7 years ago, yeah, we added something called binaural beats and the gamma frequencies embedded into the sound, and what that does is just opens up the brain to be in the most receptive wonderful state, open state. And then, of course, the messages that you give yourself, hopefully positive messages, will be easier going in. So that's one of the top things that I would say you've done over the 50 plus year anniversary celebration, I should say, of holism. Now, the second one is, I understand one of your favorite devices is PEMF.
Well, pulsed electromagnetic frequency. We are electromagnetic beings, and there is an optimal frequency, basically, roughly around 40 to 50 cycles per second. It was first discovered in Buddhist priests who meditate 8 hours a day. Well, most people are going to meditate, if at all, a half hour. And you can do that with basic biogenics. But if you add the gamma PEMF, it will markedly improve your benefit. It's the optimal benefit for all functions of brain and mind and body. And it's great for depression, anxiety, pain, dysfunction of any kind. It puts you back into optimal electrical function, which is critical for life. I discovered this by intuition, as most of our results come, and it's extremely important to train the brain. I think children should be started not earlier than kindergarten.
Absolutely. And so instead of all kind of silly things that we're doing to the kids these days, and we do a lot of silly things to the kids these days, education and otherwise, well, guess what? Train the brain and open it up for some optimal success. Now, PEMF has been used in kids as well as in animals, as a matter of
Oh, yeah.
fact. Uh, let's talk about some other things that have been important over time. Now, you came up with a combination of a good B complex with a multivitamin and the vitamin C with MSM molybdenum. It's called Youth and Essentials. Let's talk about that. How long has that been around?
Well, in today's world, there's such toxicity. Once upon a time, 50 years ago, we could get by with about 1 milligram of B complex. Now, we need 25 milligrams, B1, B2, B4, B6. You will not function well unless you take these. You need D3. Once upon a time, you could probably get by with 1,000 units a day. Ideally, you need 7 to 10,000 a day at this point for your immune system. It's the single greatest thing to to protect your immune system. And vitamin C. Once upon a time, 60 to 100 milligrams. Now you need 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C for optimizing your immune system. So the U formula, the D3, and a few other things, but these are basics. And you need a minimum of 8 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. If you will not eat this, well, go ahead and die. You can add ORAC Essentials greens. 1 scoop of that gives you 6 servings, and you can add 2 tablespoons of wonderful tart cherry juice concentrate, and you will get the equivalent of at least 8.5. You don't have to eat any other vegetables or fruits, but you need that as a basic. All you get above that is a bonus.
And actually, the veggies are more important in many other ways, including for the blood pH, chemistry, and otherwise. Now, let's take a little time to talk about another amazing discovery you brought through, Bliss oils, and the origins, how it came through. And I think we have a few minutes to.
Well, I've been doing acupuncture since the 1950s, and eventually I converted it to electric acupuncture. You can stimulate the acupuncture points better with electricity than with needles. But it takes time. And almost 11 years ago, I got a sudden insight. Maybe we could do it better with oils. And I discovered the 5 Bliss oils. Air raises oxytocin. Fire raises DHEA. Water normalizes the most important concept for balancing water and potassium and blood pressure as well. Reducing free radicals, one of the greatest discoveries of all time. Crystal Bliss and Earth Bliss for raising, the enzyme that manages thyroid and pain reducer. So the Bliss oils are one of the great discoveries. If you do all 5 of them, it takes a maximum of 5 minutes a day. Basically, once you get it down, about 2.5 minutes a day. And then that combination raises, your telomere regeneration. In healthy people, telomeres shrink 1% a year. By using the Bliss oils, you could regrow them 3.5% a year. And we do other experiments of those things right now.
Speaking of Bliss oils and regeneration, when we go through trauma and difficulty health-wise, we can lose some of the telomeres. So I'm going to make you a proposal. Let's do an experiment. Let's get your telomeres all the way up again. So how many times a day do you think you want to be using the Bliss oils?
Once a day is adequate.
Yeah. I was joking, going to say just jokingly, do it twice so we can grow it twice, but we haven't shown that it actually increases telomeres. So it's adequate to do just once a day application. So all these things that we just talked about, these are some of the most essential findings in holistic medicine, and actually a lot of this is all something that you brought to the table here.
And it's important for every aspect of your lifestyle. Not just thinking, eating, blissing, but everything in life should be directed to health, optimal health. Now, the gamma PEMF is the ideal for decreasing depression, anxiety, all kinds of childhood problems. The trouble focusing your brain, it helps with bring back to normal focus.
But we are also not. We haven't mentioned there's two other modes in the PEMF.
Well, yes,
And one of my most favorite lately, by the way, is the Delta, which I didn't think it was going to be my favorite, but it has become. Delta is the third mode, and that's 0 to 3 cycles per second. In that mode, it not only does it help with sleep, it also helps with nerve pain and relaxing of the nervous system
and pain control
and pain control.
and
Yeah,
sleep.
and sleep. So it's almost a way to say, hey, let's downregulate, let's relax.
I sleep with it on my chest all night.
Actually, you have a double coil.
And yes,
Yeah.
2 coils. And I sit at my office with it behind my back all day. So I probably get 18 hours a day or more of the gamma PEMF.
And I'm just going to say one thing, because we're talking holism here, we cannot forget the importance of the understanding of who we really are as human beings: spirit, soul, mind, mental, emotional, physical, body. So,
We are a spirit incarnated as a soul. That's what we are. Never forget that for one moment of the day.
I did want to ask you, because we had a recording, but we didn't have a radio show. So, yeah, people who have missed you on the radio, did you want to mention some of the highlights of your story? We have a few minutes, or did you, and how you got through the situation, through this difficulty, illness, mentally, emotionally? What were you doing to kind of help yourself get along?
Well, I did basic autogenetic training many times a day. It was in my mind almost all the time, but training my mind and body all day. If I woke up at night, I'd do a quick autogenetic training.
Yeah. Among the devices, what were you using the most during this time period?
Well, the gamma PEMF, of
Gamma
course,
PEMF. Yeah.
hours a day
Yep.
and night.
Did you find the TENS unit to be helpful during that time?
I did not have pain, fortunately,
Ah,
so I did not use TENS.
gotcha. And you still stayed with your supplements and everything else throughout?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I used the adrenomedular scalar.
Ah, the scalar device. Yes. We haven't talked about that, by the way. It's one of the it's one of the best inventions for the for the
Reducing free radicals.
Yeah, not just that, but also we from the research. If I'm got this right, it's diabetes, sugar, cholesterol, hypertension. A lot of these measures came down, but it has to do with the free radicals as well to begin with.
Regulation of metabolism.
Yeah. Perfect. This is exactly what we're talking about: getting to the root cause and getting to where did these things come from? What is the origin, and how do you correct the basic habits and the basic patterns that have led to either ease or dis-ease? And that's holism.
Well, basically, every moment of every day, I am aware that I am a soul having an experience in the human body for the moment, but basically, it's my body and my mind are not as important as my spirit and my soul, the everlasting.
And that is what I believe is the power, the force that brought you back, because you came back from a really dark, terrible place, and this is a miracle. So thank you.
And it's important to think right. You can't afford the luxury of dwelling on negativity. It's important to be aware of negativity, but not to dwell in it.
Yep. There is a moment in every moment of our lives, and this is what I teach my patients, my clients. If you're not used to insight, keeping a journal or otherwise, just keeping stock of where you are mentally and emotionally, because that is the driver of all the patterns physical. You can have a healthy body without having a healthy mind for a long time, and it's this is the ultimate operating center, control center. But question is, who is in charge of the control center? And that is when we have to start asking questions. This is the difference between integrative or complementary and holistic approach.
And let's not forget magnesium.
Ah.
80% of Americans are deficient in magnesium, which is involved in over 300 resources in the body. And if you don't take it through the skin, you aren't getting it. Magnesium lotion is absorbed infinitely better through the skin. Orally, it's at best a laxative.
Indeed. Now, actually, magnesium, you also demonstrated some time ago that the magnesium transcutaneous, magnesium chloride, will also raise DHEA level.
Yes.
And that's something, well, that's worth mentioning.
Well, it's involved in so many things that you can't count them. And if you don't use it as lotion, you're not likely to be getting enough.
Absolutely. But let's kind of go back to the bigger picture, coming out to the holism versus, well, we have 2 minutes, by the way, so we can talk a little bit here, and then we'll open up to questions. Well, holism. We will often mention and talk about this. Integrative is a term that is very loosely applied these days.
Very loosely and falsely and irrationally.
And if a person means it well, or if they're doing the right thing, it doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you do the right thing. But the thing is, in order for something to be whole, the whole is the complete is more than the sum of its parts. We as human beings, if we forget that we are a spirit, a soul, which is the place that I go to when I do my treatment, my therapy, and part of the process is to understand and to get to the heart of what is driving that individual. What is it that motivates them? What is it that basically who are they? Because once you understand who they are and what they need, that's easy. It's a very easy process, but it's just a roadmap that is very individual for every given person, and that also is holism, by the way. Not a cookie cutter approach. Every single person is an individual.
And each individual has to decide for self the direction to take.
And I like how you say this. We can. There's a couple of ways to say it, but one analogy is you can bring the horse to water, but you can make it drink. Now, how do you say? What's your expression on that matter? I know you have your own personal way of saying that.
Well, one of the things I say in the Wallace said, "Let us speak of many things."
Perfect. We'll come back after the break. We'll take questions, but we'll continue on the YouTube Live, Facebook Live,
and Good Life.
Yeah. Well, we're still in a break, but we are still live. So beautiful, beautiful day. Great to have you here. I'm just delighted. I'm honored to have you on the show.
Well, thanks to you and your wife. I might not be here otherwise. But in times of need, there are always friends and sometimes family to help you.
Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. Friends and family, the good kind. I just want to talk about something that is really important, matters of the heart. And we had a previous recording. I'm not going to repeat the subject of that recording necessarily, but I just want to talk about how do you know what is the right thing? How do you know that you are doing the right thing? How do you know that you're being true to your purpose? And the answer is a lot of smart people actually utilize this the brain bucket to a very negative purpose or use. And it doesn't have to be negative towards anybody else. It can reflect as anger, depression, anxiety, all sorts of negative feelings, sensations. And for anyone who experiences that on a regular basis, the question really is to ask, who is in control of your control center? And if you're not, and then that raises the question, who are you? I'm just going to ask that question. What is your true nature? Now, you said something absolutely wonderful. We are spirit. We are a soul. And if you can see yourself that way, if you know yourself that way, then it becomes real simple. Changing the patterns of the mental, of the emotional, you can do it. That's like changing a suit. Uh, Physical, that's like changing your undershirt. Again, even simpler. So it's just a question of free will, choice, light, love, and well,
Positivity.
truth, positivity. Yeah, keep it positive, keep it real, and so what's on your mind?
And you are in control.
Yes.
I could talk all day, but it will do you no good unless you act upon it personally, willfully, spiritually.
I've had people talk to me in the hospital. I still work in emergency room, and how do I get off this medicine? And they're well-meaning people, but I tell them that until they change their lifestyle, until they change what they eat, if they how they move, sleep, rest, relaxation, weight, body mass index, basic toxicity of the world, water, fluoride, chlorine. Got to have a good filter. Uh, get on the basic supplements. Work on stress management, such as biogenics, autogenic training, and if they can, get in, do something to support the cells, like the PEMF device that works on a cellular level, and so on and so forth. But until you actually replace the bad habits with actually a good foundation, it's hard to get off conventional stuff, drugs, surgeries, dependence. And so for anyone who is still dependent on the conventional, I just want to say, and we had this another segment here about the matrix of the healthcare system. Unfortunately, the time that we can rely on the healthcare system as we know it is well past. The whole thing is crumbling. And you actually predicted this a long, long time ago.
And I would like to mention I have not taken any drugs during this illness. Vitamin C IV, often twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, the only major adjunct that I've added to my regimen.
One other thing that would have been helpful, I just think, is ozone.
Yes, I did not take time to order ozone as well.
Yeah, that's the intravenous. In other words, we take some blood out, ozonate it. That just basically treats everything within the blood and auto transfuse back into your body. It just makes you feel fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We still have a couple of minutes on the break.
About 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, so
Come back in about 30 seconds.
we're coming back in about 30.
So the time has come for your questions. Anything you want to ask about anything related to health is the time to do it now.
We do have a question online about, do you accept out-of-state telemed patients?
The question is, do we accept out-of-state telemedicine patients? Yes,
Yes.
and yes.
Zoom, phone, Skype, yes.
417-351-5221. That's the clinic.
With Dr. Sergey Shealy-Sorin.
So do we have any questions? Well, if they have no questions, then we talk.
Absolutely, but let's actually check in, see if there's any comments.
We have a phone call.
Oh, phone call just now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we are.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello? You on the air? Well, they hung up. I got disconnected.
I hope we'll call back.
Yep. Here's another one.
Okay.
Hello? Can you help you?
Yes, I can.
Hi.
Okay, what's your question?
Okay, I have additional questions for the PEMF device.
PEMF device question. Go ahead.
Great, go for it.
Okay, my question is, I don't have any health problems, but I just want to know what it can do just to maintain a good health. And also, specifically, I was asking about my dogs that are 14 years old, that if it could be beneficial for them.
And definitely, many of my clients use it on the dogs. Dogs become almost addicted to it.
Well, the dogs is your best way of knowing that it works, because there's no placebo effect in the dog. If either they like it or they don't. Actually, a lot of the animals do prefer it, not cats as well. But yeah, this is one of the best devices. It works on a cellular level, regenerates ATP production and mitochondria and otherwise. It's just there's so many benefits, and plus it works with circulation, muscle and bone support, but basically vascular system, everything really.
What frequency do you recommend for dogs?
In general, I would use this general sweep, the sweep frequency, the first one.
The first setting, yep.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm glad to see you, Dr. Shealy. I love you. And Dr. Sorin.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have Dr. Shealy back here. It's wonderful. We have any other questions? Yeah, all right.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello. I've got a friend who had some surgery on their feet of 1 foot, and they got a lot of swelling in it. They're getting so much swelling when they sit.
Oh, yeah.
What would you recommend?
That's a very simple one. In the acute phase, especially the first week, PEMF, right on the area.
PEMF?
Yeah.
MNL?
The general sweep. Yes.
The mode. Now you also want to do something anti-inflammatory as well. So turmeric or things of that nature. Garlic is pretty good for you. But there's also to decrease the swelling and reduce the post-operative time. I think just a good lifestyle in general and good supplementation. I hope you're doing that.
Okay. Yeah. What about youth formula? Would that be okay?
Definitely.
Youth formula and in combination with essentials, because the essentials will give you the good B complex and basically trace minerals. And the youth formula, in addition to that, adds to the DHEA, increases by 60%. So it's a wonderful.
And D3.
And actually, another thing you got to have is D3, vitamin D3, that is. 50,000 units a week, or you can go at between 5 to 10,000 units per day. And we talk about magnesium lotion, topical. I think those are some of the basics. Now, there's a few others that I would recommend in that specific case, but we would need to know and hear the story and other medical issues and just the entire big picture for best advice. Yeah.
Okay. What about some of the Bliss oils?
Bliss oils. I think in this case, actually, Earth Bliss would probably be.
Yes. Earth and crystal.
Earth and crystal. And a crystal for the free radical reductions and the other benefits there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Well, pleasure. Yeah.
Thanks for calling. So now is your turn to ask more questions or make comments.
And another question.
And hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Now is your turn
to
ask more questions or make comments.
Are you there?
Yeah. What can we help you with?
Hi. What I would like to know, let me turn my sound down here so I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I have got rheumatoid arthritis and have been recently diagnosed with celiac disease.
Rheumatoid arthritis and celiac disease,
I am taking the youth formula, the Eco Greens, the Digesticure,
good,
and the magnesium lotion.
Yes.
Now, my doctor has just told me that my cholesterol is a little high and I need vitamin D. So with all those things that I'm taking, where do I go from here?
Okay. Lecithin granules, 2 tablespoons a day. Secondly, TMG, trimethylglycine, 2,000 milligrams 3 times a day. These work in almost 100% and are safe.
I think you still have the radio going in the background. Could you turn that down, please, if you can?
Okay, what was the first one you said? I didn't quite get it.
Lecithin, Lecithin.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't. Okay, all right. Would you please tell me what the first one you said was? I did not get that.
Lecithin granules and trimethylglycine.
Granules trimethyl.
Glycine.
Second one is a TMG, trimethylglycine. T as in Tom, M, Mary, G as in George.
2,000 milligrams 3 times a day.
Okay. And is that all I would need to do? What about the vitamin D, or would all that I'm doing take care of the vitamin D?
Oh, the vitamin D is essential. Absolutely.
Yeah, magnesium and D3 in addition for everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, how much of that would I need to take?
How much do you weigh?
I'm 5'2", and I weigh about 105 pounds.
You need 50,000 units the 1st, 10th, and 20th of every month.
The 1st and the 20th of every month?
Every
First,
10 days.
Yeah. 1st,
Okay.
10th, and 20th.
1st, the 10th, and the 20th of the month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I want to tell you, I love seeing you. You are looking so good, both of you. You're both just so handsome, and I'm glad to see that you've come back.
Thank you.
And staying fit is essential.
Thank you for your call.
What is essential?
Staying fit is essential.
Yes. Well, I deliver mail. I'm a rural mail carrier, and with Amazon, I get plenty of exercise during the day.
God bless. Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you.
Keep the faith,
And
baby.
thank you. Y'all hang in there. Love you both.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
And another call. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Well, hello there. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Boy, you have been missed. I'll tell you, it's good to see both of you there at this time. So, as a team, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get right to it here. I'm calling on behalf of my wife, who's had a dry mouth, and she's been coughing and everything. And she was taking some cold medicine several months ago, and she then tried some glycothymolan, I think it's pronounced, and she's not taking that now, but now she's been taking some iodoral, I think.
Iodoral, yeah. Iodine, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And she still has her cough, and she takes potassium every day, and she drinks constantly through the day. I just wondered if there's anything else that she can do, because when she gets coughing pretty bad, it gets to be pretty bad for a while. She doesn't cough all the time, and thankfully she can sleep and doesn't cough in, but it's gotten pretty bad, and so just wonder if you don't have any suggestions of anything else she could do.
I strongly recommend raising DHEA naturally with Fire Bliss, Earth Bliss, and Crystal Bliss. Safe and helpful for the immune system.
Actually, not only is that for telomeres, but also DHEA, I believe, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other thing that I would add to this is just optimize your immune system, and this is the combination of the following in terms of the supplements. Some essentials, 2 of those a day will give 25 milligrams of B complex, most of it. You'll need that for cellular energy, so cellular support, youth formula, or equivalent of 2 grams of C with a gram of MSM that raises DHEA. That's what we're talking about as well. And then next one is vitamin D3, and what you want to do is you want to actually load up, as a matter of fact, with if you have 50,000 unit tablet, it's harder to do if you have smaller amounts. But if you have 50,000 for each one little capsule, 3 of those on day 1, day 2, and day 3, and that's basically loading dose. And then you go to either weekly or every 10 days. And then there's a few others that are very helpful. There is beta-1,3-glucan, which is another great immune enhancer. And that's 500 milligrams per day. Am I going too fast? You good?
No, I get to play this back. I can't write this back.
Yes, sir. And one more. Yeah, let's talk about one
Yeah.
more.
Okay.
Astaxanthin. I'm gonna have to write this out because this is Astaxanthine. I think.
30 milligrams a day.
30 milligrams a day. Yeah, that's some words have too many syllables, but yeah, that's so that plus just a good lifestyle. Making sure plenty of good quality water, and if there's a need for consultation or something to prescribe, we're happy to do that, or you can do that with your doctor. But yeah, those are the basic ways.
And city water is poison. Fluoride, get rid of it. Get something to get rid of fluoride in your water.
One more thing. I remembered. Quercetin, Quercetin, 500 milligrams with zinc, 50 milligrams minimum. That's a good beginning.
Okay. She has take some aloe vera, and we get that. Is that pretty good? Does that add anything to that? Or?
That helps. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, that's a good list. I'll have to view this back then. Take notes of that. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen, so much, and welcome back, Dr. Shealy.
Blessings.
Dr.
Thank
Shealy,
you.
Stay well. Okay. God bless now.
Yep. Another caller.
Hello. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi. This is Josephina Bencari.
Okay.
Hi, Josephina. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much. Welcome back, Dr. Norm Shealy. I've spoken to you 20 years ago, and I just adore you and love you. And I think you're actually a gift. Say thank you for all the work you've done here on this earth. I sent you a little email. I just wanted to hear your voice and say thank you and God bless you, and thank you for helping us here on this earth.
And blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care and welcome back.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And another caller. Yeah. Hi.
On the air. Hello.
Hello.
You have a question?
I do. Thank you. I have the PEMF, the gamma PEMF.
Yes.
Just a quick question on how to know if it works. I've had it for 6 months. It's taken a few falls once in a while. I sleep on it. Is there a testing component?
Actually,
there's a little magnet that comes with it, and if it vibrates in your hand close to the PEMF, it's working. That's all you have to do is hold the magnet near the PEMF, and if it vibrates, it's working.
Yeah, basically near, just anywhere around the ring, within the parameter. It's you'll have it's not going to be a wild vibration. It's not going to go flying into the air, but it'll move.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Then it is working. And then also with the, I also have the sapphire heads.
Oh, and the
adrenals.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah,
and they work.
They work together very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sapphire adrenal medulla needs to be aimed at the body. It's good for at least 10 feet away, as long as it's aimed towards the body.
So I put it at the end of my bed. I sleep. Yeah. Awesome. And then if I'm using those two systems, any suggestion to go to the mattress, or is that extreme? By the way, Dr. Shealy, I've been buying all your products for 20 years. So whatever you put on your website, I buy.
The Rejuvenatrix mattress is wonderful. That's another one of the inventions that we haven't talked about. It's as much, but I think if you do the Bliss oils, the 3 of them specifically, the earth, the crystal, and the fire, that will give you the benefit that you would get from the mattress.
Yes.
So that could be simpler, but the mattress is available as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the thing with that is just you turn it on for an hour, and then it can turn off by itself, or you just turn it off. And that's 1 hour a day. It makes you feel great.
Or night,
yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Those are my questions. Thanks very much, guys.
Blessings. Thank you.
Yeah. Another caller? Yeah.
You on the air?
Oh, no caller?
Oh, well, it's now your turn to ask questions by email or otherwise, and we will answer them as soon as possible. And meanwhile, don't forget basic autogenic training, the basic essentials, the vitamin D3, the youth formula, the essentials, astaxanthin, all essential for life and health.
And the spirit of holism is all around us. Do we have a few more minutes before we? All right. Do we want to address some of the comments or statements or anything on the? Mhm.
We have a question online from Lauren asking if 3 drops of electrified iodine in a glass of water is safe to drink each morning.
It could be a little too much. You need a certain amount of iodine, and I don't know how many micrograms are in those drops.
Too much iodine, like
blocks the thyroid.
Yeah. Too much of a good thing can be bad. So that's, but generally something to consider strongly. Great question. Yeah. And any other statements, comments, thoughts?
Mostly just everybody congratulating Dr. Norm for feedback.
Well, I'm happy to be back and continue indefinitely.
Well, we do say that spirits are forever. Spirit and soul is forever. So let's make this physical body last as much as we can.
Well, I do believe it's possible to live 120 years or longer, and don't hug anybody who's had the injection.
We have another question online. Is castor oil good for irritated eyes as well as cataracts?
Yes, but be sure it's USP.
It's a little bottle, just about this size.
Yeah.
I'll share a personal story. I've enjoyed martial arts of my entire life, so I get scratches, in my eyes from time to time. It works. You put a couple of drops, it heals almost real fast. Other thoughts, comments, questions?
Well, practice autogenic training every day. Take this regular supplements every day and keep the baby.
Amen to that. And welcome back, Dr. Shealy. All right.
And if in doubt, get the Biogenics program, 60 plus exercises to retrain the brain, mind, and soul.
We have another question online. This woman says, I'm 68 and taking a lifetime of supplements. I don't take any drugs. I do have scoliosis, and it seems some arthritis has started. What are your suggestions?
Okay, so here we're talking about musculoskeletal health, and between osteoporosis, support for the muscles, for the bones. First and foremost, lifestyle.
And find a good physical therapist to work with.
Second, if you're not doing that, there is either there's various things. There with vibration plate, something that can keep the bones in good health. There is also other types of exercises. Anything weight bearing, that you can tolerate is helps. Basic supplements, including youth essentials, good B complex, vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, but also I would add to that also boron in somewhere around the 9 to 12 milligram range. And at that point, I would consider adding some other things along the way if it were indicated.
Full body movement.
Yes.
Develop a full body movement, stretching every muscle, tendon, and joint in your body.
Yep. So the concept is if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Perfect. Any other questions, comments, thoughts? And the drugs that are used for this purpose, we're not a fan of that. In other words, for osteoporosis, it makes the bones brittle and Fosamax and otherwise. It's just, we're not fans. Let's put it that way.
We have another question online. Can you discuss the sapphires, the crushed sapphires that you sell on the website?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It comes in a leather pouch or a cloth and has been demonstrated to reverse coronary artery calcification. In my case, it decreased it 900 points in 5 years.
And by the way, there's another product that contains crushed sapphire, which is the sapphire, adrenoscaler,
Yes.
which has the sapphire lining.
Yes.
And the reason for the sapphire is because sapphire is a crystal. It's piezoelectric. It stores or receives, stores, and amplifies energy, just like in a watch. You have a mechanism for example, you're using crystals. So same concept. By the way, interestingly enough, the human body is a crystal in itself, the structure of the bones and otherwise. Hey,
Mainly quartz, but sapphire is even more important.
that's why we like the sapphire. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And 1 minute left. We can take another phone call or answer a question, or Dr. Shealy can share something else that would be.
Summarize, think positively. No matter what happens, think positively. Think a positive outcome. Create a positive outcome. Use autogenic training. Use the PEMF device, and stay positive.
Amen. And that is holism. Blessings.
And you are a Holy Spirit, so having an experience in the physical body at the moment. So keep the faith, babies, and you will do best possible. And until next week, have a good one.
Wonderful. So I think we can actually call it a day.
Make sure, yeah, we took care of everything on board.